Hi folks, Dr. Moshe Santer here. I wanted to meet the audience and let you know a little bit about what's happening here in St. Louis and our efforts to help the community with aspects of healing arts, chiropractic care, and massage therapy. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about something that may be strange for people who live in St. Louis. Having been an East Coaster, it was on my mind today, kind of missing the ocean, missing the beach, and I was thinking about what it was like the last time I was at the beach and just walking by the ocean. And you wouldn't believe what a person can have a chance to see when you are walking around with people who are in their bathing suits. Okay? As a chiropractor and as a body worker, there's no doubt there's an amazing opportunity to see just how messed up some people's bodies are. From knees pointing in the wrong direction to hips pulling in the wrong direction, heads tilted in the wrong direction. Bottom line is, a lot of us really don't know what's going on with our bodies until somebody else may notice something and point it out to us. We can look in the mirror, get an idea of how we may look from our front view, but a lot of the indicators of knowing that there's a problem comes from what another person who is practiced in the knowledge of the body can help you to understand. So today, what I mostly wanted to focus on was helping you to understand why the body sometimes gets messed up. There are really three very basic reasons. Other than, in understanding that, oh my gosh, I had a terrible accident and therefore I know something is wrong. So yes, accidents do cause damage to the body and inevitably can cause posture to change, can cause spine curvatures to change, and it happens to fit along with the first reason, but more importantly than an abrupt trauma are actually what are referred to as repetitive use injury traumas. It's doing the same thing again and again. And when you do the movement that you are used to doing, you usually don't have pain. You've probably done the same thing hundreds and hundreds of times without even thinking about it until there is an occasion where something starts to hurt. Something is not quite right. So traumas, whether they be abrupt, but more importantly those that are repetitive, would be the first reason that a spine can find itself in misalignment, and the body could be struggling with that. It's known as the first of the 3 T's. Okay? And we're going to take you now to talk about the second T. Certainly, a lot of people will look to have help because they know they've hurt themselves or because they're having discomfort, which they may be able to identify an activity that they were doing that at one point it was easy and now it's become more difficult. But this second T is a little bit more complicated. The second T in our 3 T's refers to toxins. Okay, so a lot of people think, okay, I understand all about what it means to have something toxic. They've experienced food poisoning. That's usually the first thing that comes to mind. They went out, they had a meal, maybe it was fully cooked and it wasn't under a heating tray that may have been a little bit more risky, but a person understands later that day they're incredibly uncomfortable and the body needs to eliminate all of this toxicity. Okay, but that's one idea. If you take this a little bit further, the things that we put inside our meals, the things we ingest, the fluids that we drink, certainly are part of it. And if our body cannot process through the chemicals and the derivatives that are within that, then you can have problems that as a result, the spine, that neural system that communicates from the body to the mind and the mind back to the body, can become messed up. And the result might be a distress pattern that's related to your stomach or related to your colon. It might even be related to your liver or your spleen. Things that don't necessarily relate to pain, but the body has a way of communicating something that's going on with this second category of our 3 T's. Now expand on that a little bit and understand that too much of anything is usually not going to be good. So whether it's food or fluids, it could also be working in too noisy of an environment, working in too cold or hot of an environment, okay? An environment that's too bright or too dim. These are factors in our environment that are still considered toxic to our body simply because at a certain point our body isn't able to adapt anymore. So it creates a level of distress, and as a result the spine will respond, showing up once again with a distress pattern. Lastly, of the 3 T's is the big kahuna, and it's the one that's probably the most complex to identify, but at the same time one of the easiest to start to make changes to. And the last of our 3 T's relates to thoughts. You guessed it. When somebody tells you, you know, that thing you're experiencing, it's all in your head, more than likely it is in your head. But as a result, either because you're dwelling on a worry, a concern, something that you haven't been able to resolve, and it just keeps nagging at you, whether it be over the course of a day, for that matter, perhaps weeks or months, your thoughts will have an eventual impact on the well-being of your body. And ultimately, it will play out on communicating through the spine, and over enough time and enough incidents, the spine will respond, and usually negatively. Of course, there are lots of ideas that one can approach to create changes in one's lifestyle, to help in dealing with how we feel about our day-to-day. And in another conversation and sharing, we'll go into some of those ideas. But today, again, the topic of just why does the body break down? 3 T's. Very 3 simple reasons. Traumas, toxins, and thoughts. So don't wait till it's that much of a problem. Questions? You can always reach, again, Dr. Moshe Santer, Tree of Life Family Wellness Center, St. Louis, Missouri, 314-575-1833. MyMassageDoc.com. Real easy to remember. And from there, remember, we're trying to help people to feel good, to breathe better, and to move better. All the best.